Hi, I'm Jeff, and today we're back with Kenshi. This is the second video of me playing Kenshi for the first time, no experience, so please check out the first video here if you haven't already. In that first hour of Kenshi, I felt like I learned a lot, but also nothing at the same time. This is one of those games where the story shapes itself the deeper you get in the game, and I quickly realized that my second time playing. Now join me as we continue the story of Settles and see the birth of a revenge story. We were left alone and clueless, and with a headache. I went straight back into the building with the intention to train, but the guards were always watching and I didn't want to get chased out again. Now I need to clarify this for the second part. I was walking around holding left click, something I quickly realized you should never do because somehow I walked straight into a cage and locked myself in. Not a good start, I know. I then weighed my options. I was too weak to break it, had no tools, so my only option was the lockpick, which took some time. I eventually got it open, but couldn't leave because I was worried they would put me straight back into the cage. So I stood there, and the guard just let me out. I guess he realized I wasn't supposed to be there. I went back to the bar and rented a bed on top to get some rest to heal my wounds. During the rest, I had memories of the brave soul that protected me as I fled from the bandits, and I decided I needed to go pay my respects. I grabbed her body and had no idea how or if you could bury someone, so I just hid her behind some rocks. I wore her clothing in remembrance and carried on with my journey. The inside of the city was like a beehive with guards running around like crazy, so I got anxious and left. I had no objective, no destination, I just walked. That was until I found them, the group that killed my savior. I followed them, waiting for an opportunity to strike. There was another group nearby, so I hit and ran. The fight began. I started looting, but apparently I was caught stealing, not sure by who. Then all of a sudden, all of the bodies woke up and started fighting again. Apparently they weren't dead, just knocked out. I took them out pretty easily and looted their weapons. I patched myself up and headed back to sell my loot. Along the way I met a high paladin that warned of some troubles northwest.
You must avoid traveling northwest. Only the most devilish monstrosities prowl there, 100 times the size of man with the hunger of a rabbit demon.
At least now I knew where not to go. I sold my loot, and with some more money in my pocket, I continued my journey. Along my journey, I looted all the corpses I found and avoided all groups. I then found my next location, a slave camp.
Work harder.
I made my way inside and was immediately chased out. I found a little paw print looking thing on the map and made my way there. Along the way I ran into some animal traders, so I bought one. Meet Bone Dog. Hey, I didn't realize the top part was the name. I thought the race was like listed twice for some reason. I mean, what do you expect? I was finally not alone. I won't lie. I was pumped to have a companion in this game after getting kicked out of every location and seeing dead people everywhere. I eventually figured out how to make Bone Dog follow me, and we were on our way. I then realized just how slow Bone Dog is, which could become a problem in the future. I then ran into some river raptors. I considered fighting, but then realized just how god-awful I am at combat, and the fact that Bone Dog would take 5 business days to join the battle, I didn't think my chances were any good. I ventured onward. I found another group, but with no way around I tried to squeeze by, but they chased after me.
Hold up, Drifter.
Surprisingly, they ended up being friendly. They gave me some rations and sent me on my way. I guess not all people are bad in this game.
May the Lord of Light guide you.
I found a farm further down the road, which was the perfect place to sleep. I caught some sleep and Bone Dog stood guard the entire night. During the night, I found out you can build in this game, so I started my next objective, start my own base. The next day I went to check out the inside of the farm and found some training posts. I tried to use it, but apparently I can't use it over here either, so I waited for them to leave and got some training in. During my training I was notified of bounties. Apparently a river raptor had a bounty on its head, not sure why. At this point in the game I could barely handle hungry bandits, so I wasn't planning on doing any bounties anytime soon. I continued on trying to find an area for my new base. Apparently you can't place buildings near any other settlements, so I needed to find somewhere far away. After a long journey, I found a place suitable for my base. It was close to a previous city I was at. I then realized I needed building materials. Also, Bone Dog was starting to worry me, traveling a little too close to hungry bandits. The city was likely to have building materials, so I headed there. accidentally running into a group of hungry bandits. They ended up not really attacking me, we just ran together. The city guards started the fight, so I joined in. Bone Dog, of course, missed all of the action. I finished off some straggling hungry bandits, and Bone Dog finally showed up. I found one last bandit leaving the city and decided to finish him off, which would turn to a crucial mistake. The guards accidentally shot me with a crossbow and turned my arm into a wet noodle. I was freaking out. I was bleeding out and my left arm was in very bad condition. My bandages did nothing, so I ran to the city to find a doctor. After going through multiple shops, I finally found one that sold a first aid kit. It was enough to stop the bleeding, but my arm was still just dangling there. I didn't really know what else to do, so I just went along with my day. I found a store that sold some building materials, so I bought a backpack and as many building materials as I could carry and made my way back to base. Bone Dog, of course, took the long way back to base. I was then notified of an attack on my base that wasn't even built yet, and I was in no condition to deal with them even with both arms. I ignored it and continued building. Some ominous music started playing and I thought I was under attack. But something far worse was happening. Bone Dog was under attack. He tried to run, but he was too slow. I rushed over as fast as I could, but I was too late. I fought as best as I could with one arm, but I was far too weak, so I had to flee. Bone Dog was dying. I ran over to apply first aid, which stopped the bleeding, but he ended up in a coma. I couldn't pick him up with only one arm, and I couldn't protect him either. My only option was to rest up and come back healthy so I could protect him properly. I ran back to the city and slept in a bed to rest up, but that was the wrong choice. Bone Dog was harvested by a hungry bandit. I ran back to where Bone Dog's body was, and just as I thought things couldn't get any worse, the attack on my base began. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give me a like and subscribe for more content. Also, in the comments below, please let me know if you'd like to see me continue this series and any other games you'd like to see me play. Also, tips would help. Trust me, I need them.